about the idea of like music kind of influencing the boomers, classic rock,
Yeah.
where it weirdly became classic rock, and
You
it
know
almost
about Laurel
seemed like,
Canyon, Kyle?
yeah, that's
Well, the classic rock stuff started with Elvis, and a lot of people think Elvis is like, Baptist cornbread American, like I was saying before, but he was an occultist. He was interested in the occult. He thought of himself as this sort of like shaman who was bringing in this new wave. This all started in the 1800s at the World's Fair when a woman named Little Egypt danced provocatively and the whole country went crazy. And that was the beginning of the sexual revolution at the Chicago World's Fair. And it had that Egyptian connotation because it's an occult, it's an occult movement. America
kind
is
of like,
currently being initiated, and the music that you're describing in classic rock, that was like when the veil became very thin, and that was purposeful, right? That the 60s were a powerful time. People were charged up, it was in the air. People wanted to get out of society at that time. And what did they do? They strummed them all back to, becoming a 9 to 5 mom and pop, keeping up with the Joneses and all that good stuff. Get your white picket fence. And that's what the classic rock movement was all about.
do you think like our society would kind of been different if like the CIA didn't kind of infiltrate with the classic rock stuff?
You're saying the CIA didn't infiltrate with the
I
classic
got,
rock?
yeah, I got what he said. I think, America at that time could have went in any direction, especially after World War II. You got to consider how, the country was really reeling from that, not just America, but the whole world. So but this is all steps towards globalism, okay? And yeah, America would be a different place without the CIA, but the CIA wouldn't be here without Skull and Bones and Yale University and some of the things that we're talking about. So I think it's, at this point in the conversation, it's a little too late to think like, hey, what if they didn't? Because they did. And, all we could do now
Right.
is work from where we are. And I think the best thing to do is to bring awareness, talk to people about the music they love, and maybe say to them like, hey, did you know that Led Zeppelin, one of the things that they would do is they would spill blood on their master tapes and then do like a satanic ritual and and enchant some kind of like weird stuff over the master tape, and that's what went into all the vinyls. Or like, I mean, that's just one sensational take, but there's plenty of like things you can point at and say like, why did this happen?
Totally.
You had multiple factors going on. First of all, you have the Industrial Revolution, which is allowing for the mass production of instruments in the first place. So now people are getting their hands on instruments, right? They're not just like things you can make with, your know-how and whatever you have lying around. I'm talking about guitars and things that need to come through a factory or some skilled
Yeah.
craftsman's hands, right? These things start to get more widespread and available. So people start making music on their own, and these corporations, they need to own everything, right? So they own the style, they own the popular creators, they put these stars, these celebrities out in front of the public. This is all a very occult thing. When it comes to the factors in society that are being weaponized against us, which is what you're describing, I'm of the opinion that the people in the upper echelons of the society saw music's potential to facilitate certain emotional states, mental states, and they designed a culture where the common man would engage with music that didn't uplift them the same way classical music did. It didn't enlighten them the same way classical music was designed to do. So I'm not saying that classical music disappeared afterwards, because I think classical music was something that was cherished by people who saw the value in it and said, hey, this is something that's potent, it's powerful, let's use it for us. That's kind of the unfortunate thing, is absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? And you give these people the capability to say, all right, well, everybody's instruments are going to be tuned to this standard, and every company that makes music is going to be tuned to this standard. People are going to abuse that kind of power, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's government, whether it's technology. People are going to abuse
I,
power for
Yeah.
greed. It has cultural implications because it's the sexualization of a culture. It's the breakdown of a culture. It has to do with eugenics, depopulation. It's very, very complex what you're talking about.